Yo, yo, what up? What's up, y'all? So it's the last day of 2020. I mean, actually, the last day of 2019. I'm actually thinking ahead because when I talk about my focus and my goals, I'm always thinking ahead to 2021. So um, that's why I said that. But like I said, I'm just gonna be chilling here, vibing out. So if y'all have any questions you want me to answer, anything that you're curious about, you can ask away. If not, I'll be chilling here. Y'all can chat in the live chat. You can also ask me questions there. So I'll be chilling here till about 4 o'clock, and I might just talk about some random topics, or if anybody asks any questions, then we can get into a discussion. So if you got any questions, just put it down right here in the live chat, um, and we'll go from there. So I'm pretty much spending my last day hanging out, going through my email right now. But yeah, so I've been spending my last day pretty much cleaning and organizing. It's a tradition every year that we clean the house and organize everything because it's kind of thing where you've already had your whole year and then you get to start off 2020 all fresh. So it actually feels good to clean because you get to breathe like a whole different air. It's like, yeah, you're in your house and whatnot, you're in your room, but you don't even realize like you're breathing cleaner air than what it is. And I already clean like and vacuum. I'm about to put this down. I already like clean and vacuum 3, 4 times a week, and I got crazy OCD. So with that, I'm going wild all the time, constantly cleaning. But when you're actually like doing a deep clean, like the other day I had the carpet steam. So after everything dried and everything was clean, it had like this whole new feel and air to it. So that was a cool little thing. But I've pretty much been cleaning all day. And went food shopping early this morning. Went to get some breakfast at the diner. I had a little doctor's appointment in the morning, so trying to take care of everything. Just in general, I mean, I'm pretty much a very health conscious person. I mean, I do have a fitness page, so I should be, um, kind of have to like practice what you preach at the end of the day. Because if you don't, if you don't like, if I'm going on and telling you to do A, B, C, and D, but I'm not doing it, it's like you're not gonna believe me. You know, if I tell you, "Oh, go out there and don't smoke," but I'm on video and I'm smoking, like right there, like I'm just being a hypocrite. So I have to practice what I preach, and it is very important to take care of yourself, regardless of whether it's going to be the new year, whether it's June, whether it's March, whatever point of time it is. They always say, like, when it comes to work, of course, you need money to live, pay rent, pay food, pay car note, pay phone bill, pay your charge card at your favorite store or whatever the case is. You have to take care of all that stuff first before you can go out and go on like a lavish vacation or something like that, because you don't want to come back broke and then you can't even take care of yourself and you can't even like buy gas to go somewhere. So it's very important for you to um, check in and make sure that you have a priority list, um, because your home comes first, your health comes first. And I'm always preaching that to people, that health and dieting and fitness is important. It doesn't matter like really what age you end up starting it. I mean, you could be like 60 years old and you're like, you know what? I really need to get myself together. Let me talk to my doctor and see what's going to be the best plan for me. So, um, you know, as it's very important for you to educate yourself and for you to also ask for help when you need to. You know, when I first started going to the gym, there was some equipment I didn't even know how to use, and I was like, "Dang, how do you use this?" And I was very shy. I didn't really talk to a lot of people. I was very introverted, and so when I went to the gym and I was looking at the equipment, even as I read the the sticker that was on the machine, I still didn't even understand it. So I had to end up asking somebody for help. You know. So it's just important in life, like an important part of life. An important part of life is sometimes asking for help. Sometimes you gotta, you know, like take your pride away and ask for something. You know, like I said, I was a very shy person. So growing up, um, like I got teased and bullied so bad. Like if that was to happen now, like, maybe I would've acted out differently than I did back then, because I didn't really act out at all back then. Um, I started getting bullied around 4th grade, I would say it was, and then went all the way up through the end of my senior year of high school, like, pretty much all 4 years. Um, and I can laugh about it now, but, since since I'm Italian, I have a very big nose, as you can tell from the side view here. So there's nothing I could really do about it. When I was small, I was it was funny because I would look to the side and I thought like I was getting blocked by my nose, that I couldn't like see anything. But as I got from middle school up until high school, the people that I thought were my friends were the people that was like starting the rumors and stuff. So they were going around saying nose, nose, nose. Like they were just calling me nose. But after a while, like what was seemed petty to people, like, after a while, it just became to just be constant, constant, constant. It was, like, so annoying. And then, like, I finally got the nerve my senior year. I got one of my friends, and, I was like, "Yo, come with me, like, just to back me up just in case something go down." 'Cause I wasn't even a fighter or nothing, like, I wouldn't fight or nothing, like, I would just take it and go with it. But I had soccer and I had fitness that had kept me, um that was like a way of me to get out my anger and get out my feelings that I had. Um, so I confronted my bully, and it pretty much stopped there. Like I had ridiculous stuff happen to me. Like my friends, we was playing video games one night, and they put eggs in my shoes. And then so when I went to put my foot in the shoe, it cracked, and I'm like, uh, I don't understand that question. So somebody wrote me a question here. I like everybody, so you know, um, you can be guy, girl, whatever your orientation is, I'm cool with it. So I'm not sure about that question right there. Um, anyways, so when I put my foot in a shoe, uh, the egg cracked, And then I got chased home by like my friend who was trying to like hit me in the back of the head and all that. It was just crazy. Like and eventually I got to the point when I became an adult that I'm just like, all right, cool, let's you know, cut all these people out of my life. So each year this kind of gets back to the whole cleaning thing. Even though I physically clean my house and I organize my house and all that, um, you know, you have to sometimes clean out your friends. You have to sometimes clean out the people that are toxic in your life. Because not everybody's your friend. You know, people who you think are your friends, you find out later in life they show their true colors or they show who they really are at the end of the day. And I could say I'm your friend, but and we hang out and we chill and all that's good. But then like later on something happens and it just that one thing could just shift the whole entire friendship into nothing, you know? And to be honest with you, like I have had at one point I think maybe like I thought I had maybe like 15 friends, which is a high number. But as I got older and actually after high school, I realized I didn't have maybe no more than 3 friends. So that list went from 15 all the way down to 3. And I'm just like, that's cool. I don't need them. So, regardless of what's going on in your life, like, make sure that you have positive people that are around you, people that are optimistic. You don't have Debbie Downers all the time. Like, we all go through stuff. We all go through um, different things in life and we all cope with things differently. So, it's very important that you take care of yourself. It's very important that you cope with things, that you ask for support, that you have different people in your life that you could turn to and help in a time of need. So, see, we got 2 people up in here. I don't see the second person. I see one individual. So you believe in the afterlife? Well, in my religion, which is Roman Catholic, and I am a practicing Catholic, we go to heaven. So I guess in to a certain extent, it depends on afterlife. Like if you mean rebirth or something like that, but I just know that it's my goal to make it to heaven, and I'm gonna do everything that I need to do in order to wash myself of my sins and ask for forgiveness when that time comes for me and God to meet one another, and for Him to decide if I'm accepted into His kingdom. So that's my thoughts. If you have any thoughts, feel free to put in the chat and we can have a discussion. I think I already answered the first question. Said I'm not even going to repeat the first question, but like I said, I respect everybody. It doesn't matter what creed, age, orientation. It doesn't matter who you are. Like at the end of the day, I've been taught to respect people. I've been taught to love people. We're not gonna like or hate everybody. Some people might be a love and a hate relationship, but to say um, people hate one kind, I mean, it's crazy to even think about that because over the last month, I'm in New Jersey, by the way. I don't know about everybody else. You could drop where you're from in a live chat, so I kind of have an idea of who the audience is. But in New Jersey, I say about a month ago, there was a shooting in Jersey City, and it was targeted that they were targeting the Jewish community. And I think a police officer was killed and 5 other individuals were killed. And then just the other day in New York, um, a man had went and stabbed, I think, 2 people at a synagogue and killed them. Or it was either 2 or 5, I don't really recall. But that's like the second time in 1 month that, the Jewish community was targeted. And, I'm not gonna get into a whole discussion about race and all that other stuff because I really, it's not the topic of my discussion here today. It's not something that needs to be deeply getting into, but I respect all races. I respect people's opinions. Um, we may agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we all gotta love each other because, I believe that there's a lot of good that's in the world. We watch the news and we see negative stuff all the time. We see killings, bombings, we see suicides, we see murders, we see kidnapping, robberies, rapes, assaults, bullying, teasing. You just see anything and everything under the sun. I mean, that stuff was going on back in the day. Like when I was in school, it was what 2002 to 2005 was high school, and it was bad. But the way that things are now, times have changed. With the accessibility of social media. Like at the time, I had MySpace and High Five. I think Facebook just came out when I was in college. So, um, but now you got little kids with tablets, iPhones, smartwatches, and these kids know how to use the devices better than some of the adults that have had experience. Like me, I got my regular phone right here. I got a Android, and everybody's telling me, "Oh, go switch to iPhone. It's so much better." But at the end of the day, a phone is like a car, right? You have your car, you put gas in it, it takes you where you need to go. You don't have to have nothing fancy. You don't have to have anything spectacular, but you do have to have a car that gets you from A to B. And just like just like with anything else, you have to realize that the phone is just for the main purpose of you calling. I mean, in all actuality, we don't need to have the phone to text. Like, but 95% of my friends have texted, and I've been texting for so long that, like, you know, it's just ridiculous that I don't even like talking on the phone now. But if I got friends out there that are people that I talk to that are like, hey, why don't you call me? Because I don't really want to talk on the phone, like to be honest with you, you know. And then people get mad, or people can get mad like, oh, why didn't you follow me back online, or why didn't you accept my friend request? Like if we're friends in real life, it's not a I'm not obligated to accept your friendship online. Maybe I don't want to be friends with you online, but I like the friendship more on the outside. Like people take things to like a whole other degree for no reason, and that's just because of the way society has normalized a lot of things. Society creates these norms that were never norms before, and we're just supposed to accept it, and we're just supposed to move on, and you know, be controlled by what the majority thinks when it's not even the majority that thinks that because it's actually a small percentage that created that. But because it's a trend, because it's a norm, people are going to follow it. You know, there's very few leaders in the world that are actual leaders. There's a lot of followers. And social media, unfortunately, has made that worse. You know, everybody's worried about how many followers they get and how many uh, likes they get on a picture. You know, let me answer this text, and I'm gonna get back to that because I want to kind of like chill out my little. I don't want to say rant, but my little discussion right there. See, we got a second person here, an old coworker saying what's up, always showing love. I appreciate that, you know, and I agree with what she's saying. Like she's saying she avoids watching evening and nightly news because of negativity, and it's so true. Like you know, regardless, even though like tomorrow's 2020 and we're gonna get a fresh start and all that stuff, like it shouldn't matter if it's Sunday or Saturday or hump day or whatever day of the week, you know? You have to find a positive in your day. And a positive for me is always the fact that I simply woke up and opened my eyes. And I said that in my last I think I said that in my last live stream, or I said that in one of my recent videos that if you can't find a positive in your day and you're having the worst possible day ever, the one the one positive thing is if you're watching my videos, you're on the live right now, whatever the case is, you either have uh, the ability to hear or the ability to see, and those are two blessings that not a lot of people get. Let me answer this right here, and I'm gonna get back to it. Okay, all right, we're back at it. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you guys have checked out my last couple videos, but my last stream I was just talking with y'all about how to be, and actually I have other videos too about how to be successful in the new year and meeting your resolutions. I see a lot of people are putting out videos talking about their goals for 2020 and the resolutions and whatnot. And I think it's good that people are thinking about that. You know, every year people are coming out with different resolutions, whether it's like they want to travel more, they want to spend more time with family, they want to attain a dream job of some sort. You know, they want to lose weight, they want to gain muscle and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, and when I'm working out in my gym, there's it's like a bodybuilding gym, and I've explained in my other videos. But when I'm working out, all across the place, like in the one section, is all pictures of bodybuilders, and there's these like three ginormous posters of Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, that's never gonna happen. You know, but why think that way? Why think never? Why say like something's impossible? You know, why say I want to look like The Rock or I want to look like uh, Ronnie Coleman? You know, rather than say like I want to look like a certain person, it's better to think that I aspire to look like that individual. So if I say like I aspire to look like Michael Vasquez. For most of you who don't know who Michael Vasquez is, he is a calisthenics individual that I follow on YouTube and that started following on social media. Kind of around the likes of Frank Madrano, Chris Heria, those. Because I'm actually very big into calisthenics. It's just that the gym that I'm currently at is more of a hardcore bodybuilding type, and honestly, I kind of fell in love with that, lifting heavy and actually gaining muscle. Because again, I don't know how many times I've said in my last video, but it's at least been 3 or 4 times. When I was a kid and I was growing up playing, this is what I looked like, a little pen. I was skinny. skinny, scrawny, 175 pounds. Towards the end of my senior year, I had longer hair than this. Actually, I had my hair tied back, which is actually what I'm going for, probably in the next couple months. Usually, I just wake up and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just shave my head and you know have a nice clean cut. But you know, ever since I started taking some supplements and focusing more on my fitness and my health, I've actually put up weight. So before I was 175 in high school, then I was around 185, 195 in college, and currently I'm between 215 and 220. So people be like, "You don't look 220," but I didn't know that 220 had an actual look. Maybe if I was like sitting on my sofa eating Lay's potato chips or some Doritos Cool Ranch. Oh my god! With a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. Excuse me. Now, don't go eating that stuff because it's not good for you. But I'm so um how do I say the word? I watch what I eat, and I'm very aware of what I put into my body. So I don't really eat a lot of sweets. I try not to have pies or cakes or anything around the house because, to be honest with you, we all have cravings. And if there's a pie over there, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna eat it. But I have the discipline to choose to not eat it. You know. And let me sit up because y'all may think I'm not looking at you. But gotta drink that water. Actually, I have this app on my phone. I know a lot of you are Apple users, especially my friend right here, trying to get me on the iPhone. Like I said, never gonna happen. Um, so hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, but no. So I have this app here. I'm gonna show you on the Samsung phone. On the Androids, we got. Try to show you. I'm really sorry about the footage, but this is called Samsung Health, and it's awesome. Like, it's a fantastic app. I'm sure you guys have it on iPhone somewhere. It's the best. Android is nothing compared to iPhone. You're right because Android is so much better. No, but anyways, I'm sure iPhone has it, but we have Samsung Health, and it tracks your steps, your exercise level, food intake, water intake, how long I slept. Last night it tells me I slept 7 hours, even though it feels like I slept four. My weight, which is currently 216.8. So I dropped a pound in the last 2 days. Monitors your heart rate, your stress level, like I said, water, and then there's a section at the bottom, which I just found out they have. I really wish I had clear phone for you, but right here, okay, there's it has different programs that you could pick, and I ended up picking a ab workout because, as y'all can tell, and I'll show you because I'm not, I don't have a belly, but I kind of have a belly. Gotta move this out the way. All right, this is what I got. Nothing. Ain't nothing here. You know, there ain't. There's like some abs, but not a whole lot of abs. So the muscles are all right here. Got a little muscle right there. But yeah. Let me kind of close that out. But yeah, so I monitor my health and I monitor my progress through the Samsung Health app, and also do weigh myself every day. It's not because it's like an obsession or anything like that, but it's more so the fact that it helps me to keep myself on track as to where I want to be. And I'm good between 215 and 220, but um I want to maintain at that weight. The only thing that I really want to cut is my body fat, and that's something that I have to actually do on my own. Actually, I haven't measured in a long time. I'd say it's been which is pretty sad. But it's been about 2 or 3 years since I measured my body fat. I think last time it was 11% or 10.5, something like that. But I want to at least get to 8% or something like that. I mean, ideally, I would like to get to 7 or 6.5, but um, I don't know, you know. But I would be cool with like 8%. I wouldn't be mad about that. So, usually I get a book and I pull it out. I've been kind of doing that. I did that in the last video. Me, Edward, I'm just reading the comments here, so because there's like two people trying to get more people on, but seems like everybody's sleeping or trying to chase for subs. Um, not sandwich subs, but for my YouTube people, subscribers. Tell these people I'm on, man. Let me just sending this out here. Um, but yeah, I mean, let me know what y'all doing for the New Year's if you're doing anything. I'm not doing nothing to be honest with you. Probably gonna hit the gym, which I do every day, and which is nothing really new at all to be honest with you. I thought maybe today I would not go to the gym. Um, I said, well, maybe I'll take a break today and uh, and just relax. Maybe get some stuff done around the house and chill out, spend time with family. But truth is, I actually feel sick without going to the gym. So um, kind of like my drug, um, although it's a healthy drug. So I don't over exercise, but I take it very seriously. So I hope that whatever it is that you guys are doing in the new year, whatever you're doing tonight, please be safe. If you're going out drinking, make sure you got like a designated driver or something. you know, most people I know are working tonight. Um, that would be great. I would love to be working tonight, but it's cool. I'm gonna be working soon, so I'll be hustling on the side anyways. Got YouTube here. I'm very appreciative to all the subscribers I got and the people that loop with me. It's very important. People are just think like it's important to get subscribers, but they fail to realize the importance of getting watch hours. You can have all the subscribers in the world, but if you want to get monetized and you want to do well, if you don't get your hours up, it's pointless. You're just wasting your time. Let's see. For me, ab workouts and upper body workouts are the hardest. I'm still trying to work on that. Abs are tough. Like, it's crazy. As fit as I've always been, I've never had a six pack. Ever. Never, ever. And some people, they run, they do a few crunches, and don't even watch their diet, and they got a six pack. You know? It's crazy. Upper body is actually a lot tougher. And I see that most people with whom I speak with social media or speak with friends, they always tell me my upper body is the weakest. Um, maybe their arms. Usually it's the arms. People say "Oh, I can't even lift up 5 or 10 pounds, which is interesting because um, a lot of people will go to the store and pick up water or pick up 2 gallons of water in their hands. So I mean, it doesn't weigh a lot, but that's something that you could start doing. They always say um, when you go walking, you go walk with 2 water bottles in your hands to use it for resistance weight. But for upper body strength, I will always say push ups, um, arm curls, um, pull-ups, chin-ups, and it doesn't mean that you just have to jump on the bar and do a pull-up. A lot of people can't do the pull-up. I mean, I've been doing pull-ups for a long time because I was into calisthenics far long before I got into weights. So calisthenics, everything's body weight. Doing chin-ups is nothing. I could easily bang out 20 chin-ups without an issue. But that's why they do have um, the assisted machine. They have the assisted pull-up machine that people don't want to use. But if you cannot do a pull-up or a dip, that's why the machine is there for you. So a lot of people don't know how much weight to use and stuff like that, and I can't really say how much weight to use. You have to gauge what works for you. But pretty much what you do is you put your knees down on this pad, and you either hold onto the dip bar or you hold up on the pull up bar, and you use that to help you like get into the motion of it. And eventually, you'll lower the weight enough to the point where you're pulling yourself up, so that you can end up going to a bar yourself, maybe stepping up on a little stool or bench or something, and then putting yourself up. You know, but it's something that takes time. And I would say that the best way to start that off, whether you're a guy or a girl, is to start off with push-ups. Push-ups will help you with everything. Push-ups help you with your chest. Push-ups help you with your arm strength. Um, it's like an upper body thing. People don't realize that, like, you know, when you're watching army training, right, for the military, most of the stuff is like push-ups and sit-ups and running. It's like and pull-ups. It's all like basic stuff, and people fail to realize the importance of doing basic exercises and doing basic things. Like, you know, it really kind of shocks me how people rather use equipment that they never used before and challenge themselves and end up getting hurt in a process rather than just dropping on the floor, whether you use your knees or not, and bang out some push ups or go on the assisted dip and pull up machine and use that to help yourself. But no, so like some people just want to like show that they're Superman or Wonder Woman, and you end up setting yourself back even further. Like, not all my workouts are heavy weights. Most of the time when I'm shooting video, I'm shooting heavy weights, so people see like I'm pushing that weight. But some of my workouts are also light weights and higher reps because for me that strength helps with strength obviously, but also helps with growth because it's breaking down the muscles, and you have to tear muscles to get growth, but not tear to the point that you hurt yourself, you know, or you pop a blood vessel or something, like you end up putting yourself in the emergency room, or you are squatting or deadlifting and you're not using a belt. These are a lot of the exercises you could prevent injury, and it's really important that you take care of yourself and you take care of your body. So whatever you put into your body is going to be a determinant as to whether you're healthy or not healthy. If you're eating crappy food and smoking and living an unhealthy lifestyle, then 9 times out of 10, your health is going to be poor. But if you're eating a balanced diet, you walk daily, you don't smoke, you don't use drugs, or don't drink like that much alcohol, because I put that in my New Year's resolution, uh, 5 strategies that you have to cut out sweets and alcohol. And people don't want to cut out alcohol. And I get, if you've been drinking for a long time, it's hard. But if you really like truly want to lose weight or you want to gain muscle, you have to cut it out. It's not going to help you at all. Um, because people be like, well, why can't I drink? Why can't I do that? Because you don't understand the breakdown of alcohol in your body. You know? It breaks down into sugar. Sugar is not going to help your muscles repair itself when they're broken. You know, um, you have glycogen breakdown, um, and not to get all scientific into everything, but it's important to understand what chemical breakdowns are occurring in your body and what supplements you may need to help you heal and recover in order to attain that. Like for me, like I said, I'm good at my weight. I've already attained like the optimal weight. If I put on more weight, I'm not going to necessarily be mad about it, but I want to stay in the 220, 215 range. But I want to get leaner. So I still have to have carbs, but my main focus is going to be protein. I need carbs to get me through my workouts, but I can't be eating like a lot of breads, pastas, um, heavy starch, anything like that. So, I have to have a mixture of things. And like I talked in my last video, um, and I'll just review it real quick, is when you're having a plate, right, of your food, you have to have a palm size, okay, palm size and thickness of protein, a fist size of carbs, and a fist size of vegetables. Okay, and that's your plate. There's no like, let me get 3 scoops of rice and uh, a 12-ounce steak and I don't know, like pasta or potato on the side. Okay. If you have rice in your potato, you're double carbing. If you have rice in your pasta, you're double carbing. There's a reason why they want you to split the three up with that portion size, and that's because your protein will be meat, poultry, fish, soy, tofu, edamame, like nuts, anything. Okay. Um, your carbs will be healthy carbs, so you can have rice, you can have a baked potato, um, and then your vegetables, you can have legumes, you can have beans, you can have broccoli, celery, carrots, tomatoes, lettuce, whatever the case is, and have a little salad on the side. But make sure you pick a low calorie um, dressing. Okay? I personally don't eat with dressing, but if I had to choose a dressing, it would probably basically just be oil and vinegar, but like a dab of it, not even a lot. Because a lot of the um, dressings that are out there on the shelves, they're high in sodium, which is a killer. All right. Yes, your body needs salt, but you don't need 400 to 600 milligrams of salt. It's just ridiculous. Um, you know, Another killer is the ramen noodles. People love ramen noodles, but when you put that powder in there, you're putting like 6 to 800 milligrams of sodium. You know, like just make some pasta and don't put anything in it. Put tomato sauce or something like that. If you can't have tomato sauce because of acidity, I don't know, figure something else out. But, be careful of what's going into your body. When you pick up a can I don't even like canned products, but if you pick up a can at the store, make sure you're reading the label. See how many serving sizes there are. See um, how many grams of or percentages of fat there is per serving. Okay. It's not per can, it's per serving. So if you can pick up the can and you're like, oh, it only has like 4 grams of fat, but it's saying 4 grams of fat per serving, and there's 6 servings in there, you know, like you really have to break it down and look into it. What is going to be the best thing that's going to be healthy for you? And canned stuff is not healthy for you. Um, the only thing I will say is if you do get canned products, make sure you drain it out and you wash it. I mean, wash it good. Wash it to the point of almost its originality, as though you're gonna pick it up out of the ground or something like that. The best thing you could do um, is to grow your own vegetables. You know, when it comes to meat and poultry, you want to make sure that you're getting a lean cut. You want to make sure that it doesn't have any antibiotics in it. I mean, you're not at the farm, you're not there during the whole process, but make sure it's not treated with anything, no steroids, no antibiotics, non GMO, all that other good stuff. Um, you know, it's a little more expensive to pay for organic or grass fed um, beef or poultry, but well, it's usually beef, but um, it's worth it at the end of the day because you taste the difference. Just like fish. I mean, fish is a hit or miss, but there's a few markets around. I go to a market in East Orange off of Main Street. Like I said, I'm in New Jersey. I don't know about everybody else. I know my coworkers in Jersey, but I don't know about the other people in the chat or the other people that are view this later on. Um, but I go to a fish market in East Orange and also go to a fish market in the Ironbound section of Newark, which is a Portuguese and Brazilian city within, well, it's actually like a town within a city, a little section within the city called the Ironbound. Um, and they have fresh fish at their markets. And you can always tell the difference between a fresh fish and a fish that's not good. You can tell the difference between wild caught and farm raised. I particularly never buy farm raised. If I can, I'll pay the extra for wild caught because it's fresher. Um, some fishes are mostly in salt water. Um, so when you end up cooking it, you just taste the freshness. Like it's just a whole other place. There's actually a place in, I want to say Little Ferry, called Sunny's Fish Market. It's this tiny little place. Like it's super tiny. If you can see the size of my room here, it's about the size of it, maybe a little bigger. But you go early in the morning, you're getting fresh fish. You're paying maybe $3 to $4 more than the market price, maybe $2 on certain fish. But I can promise you, if you go there, you will taste the freshness of the fish. There's no fish smells like it. It's all top quality. And if they don't have a fish that you want, you can actually pre-order it and pick it up later in the week. So it's pretty cool. I haven't had fish in a long time. At one point, I decided, well, I'll be a pescatarian, and that's all I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna have meat anymore because of all the stuff I was hearing about meat. And I did it for a minute. Honestly, I think I did it for like 7 months or something, 7 or 8 months. I did it for, but then I think something happened, like health wise, and I was like, you know what, like, why am I gonna miss out? Like, why like torture myself to not eat meat? You know. So I stay off of the red meat. I don't really eat red meat like that, but I will have lean meat like turkey or chicken. You know, and if I do cook my stuff, I end up cutting pretty much all the fat off of it, hand cut it and hand trim it off myself. And then like when it comes to actual preparing, I barely use any oil because the oil, um, the longer you cook it, the more healthier it's gonna be. Just the way that like it processes. So it's actually bad for you if you use a lot of oil. Personally, I don't cook with canola oil or vegetable oil. I use like avocado oil if I can. Sometimes they have it on sale at the store, or I use coconut oil. Um, so I mean, they say it's more healthier for you. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, extra virgin olive oil is a little high in cholesterol, but pretty much, I don't want to say pretty much everything that you eat has some type of cholesterol, but you just have to be careful because if you're predisposed to certain medical stuff, you want to be aware of that and do everything to prevent yourself from having issues. If you're like could potentially, if you have a family history of diabetes or a family history of high blood pressure, cholesterol, whatever the case is, like certain cultures, they actually have a higher risk than every other minority group. So it's not only important to know your culture and where you're from, but it's important to ask your parents, ask your family if there's any medical history of anything that you should be concerned about. You might even have to go on medication for a little bit to be able to control it. Um, and some people have no control over it, medication or not. So there's really a lot of factors that go into your overall health. It's not just eating good and going to the doctor and getting your blood work and making sure your levels are good. You know, you have a responsibility to take care of yourself, and whatever you put into your body, you have a responsibility of dealing with that consequence. If it's something that you're unfamiliar with and you're not sure, like 9 times out of 10, it's probably not a good idea to eat it or use it. You know, in my line of work, and I touched upon it in the last video in some of the videos, but in my line of work, um, we have kids that come in and they smoke marijuana and they think that it's just marijuana that causes them to act the way that they act in crisis. And marijuana is not going to cause you to see things. But by itself, property wise, marijuana is not going to cause you to see things. It's not going to cause you to act erratic and violent. It's not going to cause you to go out and harm somebody violently or make threats, you know. And I try to educate the kids that something's been placed in the marijuana, unbeknownst to you. You know, there's so many different strains of marijuana and drugs out there that you do not know what's being put in there. You know, like the infamous wet. When they refer to marijuana as wet, is marijuana mixed with embalming fluid. Sometimes rat poison, formaldehyde, but 9 times out of 10 it's embalming fluid, and it's terrible because people do not know like what they're even putting into their body. And the reason they get the term wet is not because the actual leaf is wet, but when it's dipped, um, afterwards when it dries, it has this like uh, glistening like layer or whatever. So it looks like it's liquefied, you know, and it's just very important to know that a drug can alter the effects of your body like that, your mind like that. And I tell some people, because I work in behavioral health and psych emergency, and I tell people you can go into psychosis and not come out of it. You know, you can very well take a drug and not come out of psychosis, like ever. You know, doesn't matter what medication you're on. You know, and these kids are out there wanting to experiment. So I know it's New Year's Eve, and everybody, you know, people are gonna go out and drink and have a good time and eat drugs. You know, all I can say is be cautious and be very careful. You know, don't take if you order a drink and you put it down and you're not watching it, you know, for whatever the case is, and you decide to like you turn your head or you're not aware of what's going on. You run to the bathroom and come back, and you say, "Oh, you know, can you hold this?" You tell your friend, um, "Can you hold this for me?" Don't trust. I don't care who you're with. That could be your friend of 25 years. It doesn't matter. You cannot trust anybody. Okay, you don't know. Even a bartender behind the bar could slip something. You know, so just be careful when you're out there, like taking care of yourself and being very aware because a lot of things happen on a daily basis, but you are responsible for what you have. You know, if I have this drink right here, I mean, I'm in front of the computer, I'm chilling, you know, and I'm with my family, you know, I trust my family. They're not going to do nothing like that. But if I'm out with friends and we're at a club or something like that, and I get a drink, and I'm like, you know what, I'll be right back. I'll put this down, be right back. When I come back, I'm not touching that drink. Okay, either the drink comes with me, or I'm just getting another drink. You know, it's not worth it at the end of the day. You want to take a trip to the ER because you decided to trust your friend that he's not gonna do anything or she's not gonna put anything in there. How do you know? You don't know. So at the end of the day, you just make sure that you're gonna be safe. You make sure that you're gonna have a good time and you're gonna live your life to the fullest because tomorrow is not promised. You know, it's 3:56 p.m. right now. I'm not thinking about 12 o'clock at midnight. I'm thinking about currently at the present time, you know, what my next move is going to be. I'm constantly analyzing and thinking what my moves are going to be. But we got about 5 minutes left in this chat. Um, So just gonna chill, check the phone, see if anybody sent a message. My homegirl sent a message. Cute little picture. I definitely agree with that. Like with the oil, um, just check the thing. With the when you're cooking, it's very true. With the natural juices, that's why sometimes if you have even if you have like a non-stick pan, um, you really don't need to like put a lot in there. So if you're cooking, like when I'm cooking meat or whatever, I put like a dab of avocado oil in there. I'll just like glaze it around the pan or whatever. I'll preheat the stove because I have electric stove. I preheat it for maybe like 30 seconds, 45 seconds to heat the bottom. And then I already have it pre-seasoned already for myself. A little cap on it, let it steam, and all those juices that come out, just keep reapplying it so it doesn't get dry or anything like that. But I'm gonna be doing a lot more live videos. Um, Probably weekly. I'm gonna be doing videos. So right now it's Tuesday. I'd say probably every Monday I'm gonna try and drop a live video um, and talk about different topics. So I'll either spend. It's really gonna depend, but I'll either spend 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what's going on. Um, I'm about to go get a book real quick, so I'll show y'all real quick what I'm gonna be reading next. Um, Hold up. All right, I'm gonna spend a little more time in this video. I decided to just grab a book that I'm currently reading right now. Decided that for 2020, that I'm going to be trying to read at least a book a month, because I got to get my vocabulary up, and it's pretty poor. That I don't read and write as much as I used to, but I would say since I put up the blog for my fitness and health, um, that's definitely helped me refocus on life. So the Queen right here, Maya Angelou poems, um, they're really something. Like it really brings joy to me to read poetry and to know like this was the one thing that really helped me through life. And I didn't even talk about earlier when I was talking about being teased and bullied, but in real like short story for you guys, poetry saved my life. Like, poetry I don't know. Without it, I don't think I would have been where I'm at. I don't think I would have been the person that I am, and I don't even think I'll be talking to y'all right here. Um, and when I end up reading poetry, whether it's Maya Angelou, um, Pablo Neruda, some of the people that I like, um, it really brings like joy to me. So I think I'm gonna read one that's in here. Trying to find it, you know. I'm definitely trying to find it because oh, I always like this one. Some of y'all should know this one. If you know Maya Angelou, you should definitely know this one. Cage Bird. I love this one. I'm gonna read it because these videos, it's just like whatever I'm thinking about, whatever I'm talking about. But my normal channel videos will be like fitness workouts and all that. But I think it's important for y'all to know a little bit about me and stuff that I do on the outside that helps me keep me whole outside of working out. So, all right, cage bird. All right, a free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. I really like it's it's unbelievable sometimes. Like you read the poetry, and I know that this video is gonna go a little longer than I wanted it to, but when you read her poetry, it hits you in a whole different way. And let me actually read this one. I was trying to look for a different one, but and actually, like she is actually very erotic too. Oh, I found it. She's very erotic too. I really didn't expect that, but then again, I started reading her stuff, and I'm like, I know this about her, you know. I'm gonna read two more. All right, my favorites at the end. This one's called "Thank You, Lord." I see you, brown skin, neat afro, full lips, a low goatee, a Malcolm, Martin, Dubois. Sunday services become sweeter when you're black. Then I don't have to explain why I was out balling the town down Saturday night. Thank you, Lord. I want to thank you, Lord, for life and all that's in it. Thank you for the day, and for the hour, and for the minute. I know many are gone. I'm still living on. I want to thank you. I went to sleep last night, and I arose with the dawn. I know that there are others who are still sleeping on. They've gone away. You've let me stay. I want to say thank you. Some thought because they'd see sunrise, they see it rise again. But death, but death crept into their sleeping beds and took them by the hand. Because of your mercy, I have another day to live. Let me humbly say, thank you for this day. I want to say, thank you. I was once a sinner, man, living unsaved and wild, taking my chances in a dangerous world, putting my soul on trial. Because of your mercy, falling down on me like rain. Because of your mercy, when I die, I'll live again. Let me humbly say, thank you for this day. I want to thank you. And the last one, and I promise this is going to be the last one, it's called Still I Rise. So, for any Maya Angelou fans, you should know this one. It just it hits my heart. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowhead and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awfully hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of a slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Leave y'all with some positivity, something to think about. Y'all want to check Maya Angelou out? I definitely say cop this book and cop some of her other stuff. I got this a long time ago. Um, says $6.99. I'm sure you can maybe get it for a little cheaper at the store, or you can support and get a good book. So, with that being said, hope y'all have a prosperous, happy, healthy, and safe New Year ahead to you and your families. I pray for all of y'all. Y'all are in my prayers daily. Whether we're subbed or not, I'm watching your videos and supporting y'all. So I hope that y'all do the same in return. If you like the video, please like it. If you don't like it, you can put a thumbs down. It's totally up to you. Um, if you want to leave me a comment in the comment box, I truly appreciate it. Leave me something concrete and something that is some good feedback for me, or something that you liked about the video that you watched, something that you can relate to, or just a question that you may have. If you're not subscribed and you like the channel, please subscribe. Nobody is obliged to subscribe. However, if we choose to do sub for sub and whatnot, support back, kind of expecting you to sub back. Otherwise, I'll just unsub for you. I'm just keeping it like 100. So I'm not going to sub to you and then, or you ask me to sub to you and then you don't do it in return. It's got to be reciprocated. So with that being said, I hope that there's more realness in 2020. I hope that things get better, people are healthier, great things happen to you all. May you all hit the lottery in life. May not be a millionaire, but you've been given the gift of life. So you have to enjoy it and you have to give thanks. All right. I love y'all. Stay elevated. Stay blessed. stay peaceful, and most importantly, stay happy. Peace.